They call me the hippopotamus, flows the glow like phosphorus, popping off the top of this esophagus, rocking this metropolis. I am a large water-dwelling mammal. Where did you get that preposterous hypothesis? Did Steve tell you that, perchance? Steve?
The Giff.
The Giff. Don't even try it on me. Don't even try it. Hang on, I'm going to put it in Google Translate. Are you ready for this?
Bust a move.
Okay, I'm going to play it on speakers. Okay, Google Translate. Okay, ready? GIFF. Press play. It's Giff, fuckwit. Nailed it. Thank you, Google. You probably, hang on, I'll put on the adult sensor. It's Giff, sir. There you go.
Awesome. So, Giff or Giff, depending on the argument goes. I like Giff personally
There's
too.
no argument.
I'm in there with Giff. So, the Giff are tall, broad-shouldered folk with hippo-like features. Some have smooth skin, while others have short bristles on their faces and at the top of their heads. As beings of impressive size and unforgettable appearance, Giff are noticed wherever they go. Most Giff believe they originated on one world, but their home world is now the stuff of legend, because no living Giff has seen it or knows where it is. The divine beings who created Giff have likewise been forgotten. Their titanic, petrified bodies drift in the astral sea, isolated and unrecognizable in their current forms. Although they didn't realize it, Giff are drawn to the astral plane because of their deep psychic level. On a deep psychic level, they remain connected to their creator gods, who have just enough divine spark in them to imbue Giff with sparks of their own, which Giff have learnt to channel through their weapons. Most Giff have no idea where this so-called astral spark comes from, but they feel its presence most strongly when in wild space or the astral sea. Giff are split into two camps, concentrating on how their names are pronounced. Half of them say it with a hard G, half with a soft. Disagreements over the correct pronunciation often blossom into hard feelings, loud arguments, and head-butting contests, but they rarely escalate beyond that. So, Mitch, take us through some of the traits. Now, as normal,
Listen.
Drop it.
Wizards, leave the meta jokes to the content creators. Wizards, you stay serious. We need you guys as the straight guys so we can make fun of you.
Your ability in score increases will work two different ways. You'll either get a +1 to put in 3 stats, or you get a +2 and a +1 to put wherever you want. Your choice. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but that's the way they're going. That's the way we're moving nowadays. So we continue.
I think it makes perfect sense. Anyone that thinks races are held back by whatever race they are racist and belong in hell.
Yeah, us old school. All us old school people. Can't change.
Drop them traits on me. Traits. Creature type, you're humanoid. Size, you're medium. Speed, 30 feet, but it's walking and swimming. Astral spark, your psychic connection to the astral plane allows you to mystically access a spark of divine power, which you can channel through your weapons. When you hit a target with a simple or martial weapon, you can cause the target to take extra force damage equal to your proficiency bonus. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, but you can use it no more than once per turn, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Thoughts on that one?
I like it. It's a little bit like the Warlock Genie. You get to add that elemental damage to your attacks. So I'm on board with this. And in fact, you could tie that with a war and double it. But hey, you only get to use it every now and again. So
I was actually going to tie it to the Goblin that gets Fury of the Small.
Oh yes,
where you get to deal your character level in damage to one attack a long rest. Now, I was going to see which one of these does more damage, but it's obvious this one does later in game because you can only get 20 damage on the other one, whereas this one you can get 36 damage. Firearms Mastery. You have a mystical connection to firearms that trace back to the gods of the Giff. who delighted in such weapons. You have proficiency with all firearms. Ignore the loading property of any firearm.
Oh, yeah.
In addition, attacking at a long range with a firearm doesn't impose disadvantage on your attack roll. Okay.
Gloomstalker?
I honestly was just thinking, make sure everyone understands that that doesn't apply to Spelljammer ship weapons that have like a 10-turn loading thing. So definitely, small arms, unless you want to run it the other way. But yeah.
Hey, I can see a Gloomstalker version of this where you're hiding in the shadows of the ship when everyone's doing something. You all of a sudden step out and just snipe someone on another ship. And that classic line, there's no way they can hit us from hit.
No one ever expects a Spanish hippo.
So I like it. I think it's cool. And definitely it forces guns in your game. This might rock a few people's worlds, but this might leave them locked in Spelljammer. Because if you bring them to another world that doesn't have guns, they're going to be unfairly advantaged unless you do a little bit of change there with your DM. So I think to bring them, and they have been in other campaigns, but to bring the Giff back to Earth, you're going to have to figure out what the go with firearms is going to be. Maybe just convert it to crossbows, just nice and easy. Or you're going to have to totally swap the whole thing out with something different. And the last one, sorry, Mitch, firearms, what do you reckon?
No, I already gave my opinion.
All right. Then
hippo build.
Drop it on me.
You have advantage on strength-based checks and strength-based saving throws. In addition, you count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. Now, I'm a little bit worried about seeing a Rune Knight one of these.
The Luxodon can do it too. Yeah. The or a Goliath. Do they have that as well? Been a while since I played a Goliath. I haven't played a Goliath for a long time. But yeah, having this count as one size larger, I think instead of times 15, is it times 30 for your encumbrance levels? Like, it starts getting big, like real big.
Yeah.
Still though, I can see it with one of these builds. They're thick and sturdy. They will just pick something up and just carry it. So I totally get it. Why they had to stay medium and couldn't step into large. They've just got to think about large creatures. We're willing to do construct and ooze. We're not willing to go large yet. There's a permanent thing. But you're right. Tying it with the Rune Knight, you can bring the pain.
But yeah, so that's what we've got. So what are you looking at for a character build that you'd go with?
Right. Well, I was telling you just before we kick this thing off that I immediately, because of the blunderbusses or the firearms, I immediately see someone like the hunter from the first Jumanji movie. A character like that. And then if you wanted to make it more playable and not so much of an evil bastard, you could go something more along the portrayed retired major general type thing of an English army who was going to walk out smoking a pipe and have a blunderbuss over his shoulder. What ho, men? Let's have at it, eh?
I say, sir.
Off my medals and tea after this. Get that wascally wabbit. You could have a good time playing this guy. A little bit pompous and a little bit, because the Giff, if you go back to their history, are a militaristic race. They haven't brought it up here, but from previous ones, you have rank from the day you're born. They are a militaristic designed race. They will never fight in militaries against each other. But they are mercantile, and they're also been good at explosives, looking at their history and lore previous. What you bring to 5th Ed, they've had a quick change and clean up, but I still feel a bit of that. So I still feel the retired Major General coming through, and he's on his retirement ship. He thinks this is a cruise ship. You're out hunting things in space, and this is retirement. Boom!
I like that a lot. Are you a Doctor Who fan by chance?
I've caught up with the rod. What are you thinking? Centauran, or are you thinking?
No, Jadoon. Jadoon, the space rhinos. It's literally a militaristic rhino that travels around in giant military units. It's exactly this, but instead of being the hippopotamus, they're the rhinoceros. So, like the military band in the Jadoon would be the hippopotamus and the rhinoceros, not because they've got fat, not because they've got birds on the back, but because they're horny. And yeah, I'd love to play a bard one of these, but I think I think I'd just have to go with a Jadoon soldier. Like instead of having the fun with it with the rhinoceros, I think I'd have to go with an armored, heavy armor
Mm,
paladin. Just
right.
because one thing we all know is that Giff are actually the most deadly animal on the planet, and they account for more human deaths than any other race in D&D. So I think I'd have to go something violent and serious just to really drive home that you shouldn't try and bring pet hippopotamus back home to your house.
Yeah, yeah, something big and tough. Well, yeah, barbarian could work really well, be fun too. But
So
then
I
I
have
guess
heard there's been an incursion. We are here to clean the quarantine and set the bomb. I thought you said quarantine. You have been quarantined. Goodbye. Teleport out.
yeah, some good Doctor Who inspiration there you could draw upon. And, they're
Love.
all throughout our culture, this style of thing. So, oh, another one down, Mitch. I like the GIF. I look forward to it. I'm actually playing a Luxodon. I want to play a GIF in a current campaign, but the DM said that the stats aren't out yet, so I had to go with Luxodon, and really enjoying it. That one I went a whole nother way. I went with a belly dancer style warlock, and so she dances and wobbles everywhere, and comes in, and she's a lot of fun to play. But GIF, it's the same sort of thing. A heavy set character who comes in and is gorgeous. Goes down really well. So many things to do. Hey, as we said, we're powering through these things. We're knocking them out. We're talking about some character concepts, and we're enjoying Spelljammer. Will you come and join me again for the next one?
Why? Because I talk about adventure ring like me and my gift party going for a bit of fun. There ain't no party like a gift adventure party. Hey, ho.
I take
Let's
that as a
go.
yes.
Yeah, we're going, baby. See you, man.
See ya.